Presenting Channeling Erik's Hour of Enlightenment.
Yeah, we know. Hello, welcome everybody, and newcomers and veterans. I'm so happy to have you here, and we're so happy to have Denise Ramon channeling Erik, and it's going to be in the description box. Her site is DeniseRamon.com. It's pretty easy. So we got Father's Day coming up, and I'm hoping that many of us on the line are going to try to get messages from their, loved ones who have passed on that were fathers or even grandfathers. But of course, you can do, you can ask any question, and this is all for callers. So, of course, Erik, I love you.
He says, "Well, I love you, Mama." That's what he says. I know he's excited. He says he's excited about this. He's laid back excited, like that excitement you get, but not. He says he's just real comfortable and real excited.
Yeah, excited. I gotcha. So, Erik, do you have a Father's Day message for your dad?
Well, he says yes, and he says that he doesn't call Rooney Dad, does he?
I call it Papa. Yeah. Papa.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't get it like he's saying that. I got something else he's saying, because he says that his Papa has been. He has an idea going on in his head, like about doing something. He says, and he's telling them that it's like he's going to know what it is. Like he's helping him to go in that. It's not just his idea. He's being guided and pushed to go in a certain. I feel like it's something to do with finances, something to do with money. That he's going to like, oh my God, I've never thought about doing something this way, and it's going to be a really big profit thing for him.
Thank God, because we're supporting an entire other family beside our own. So because of certain recent circumstances, and it's not been pretty. So, but, love is love. You have to support those you love who are going through a bad time. So
True. But I just feel like this is something that's, like, really going to excite Roon, that it's just going to really excite him. Like, it's, it's like putting something together and this piece fits, but you can't figure out how to get it in. And you've tried 1,000 different ways, and then all of a sudden, I feel like Roon's going to find that 1,001 way to try something, and it's going to be, oh, my God, this is genius, whatever it is.
He is smart. Should I not tell him so he can come up on this on his own? Or not?
It could be. It could be. But
should I tell him, Erik? Should I tell him that you're saying this or not?
Yeah, he said yes, but I did tell him that I said that I love him, and because he sends his love is what he's doing too. Okay. Because he says Roon feels, even though there are other children around, and he's showing me little children, so I'm assuming he's talking about the grandchildren. He still feels that little tinge, that loss. He still feels that missing piece, which is obviously Erik. And yeah,
of course,
yeah,
of course. Okay, well, I guess we'll go ahead and get started. Is it okay if we take callers now, Erik?
Sure. Erik says, yeah, he's ready.
Okay, let's take one from the 7. You want to get down? 770, Erik. Oh, what are you doing? I'm trying to get in my lap, but I'm not.
Hi, Alyssa.
Hey there, what's up, girl?
Hey, girl. This is Shayla.
I recognize the number and the voice.
Hey, girl. Thank you for taking my call. Hey, Erik. Hey, I'm Denise.
Hi.
I just wanted to know if I've ever had any alien encounters. 3 or 4 years ago, I had.
What's your first name?
My name.
Where are you?
Shayla, and I'm from Bowden, Georgia. Yes.
Okay.
3 or 4 years ago, I had something amazing and miraculously happen to me in my bedroom, and I wanted to make sure that I wasn't crazy, or if it was a dream, or did that actually really happen. I had woken up and I saw this blue being by my bedroom, I didn't verbally hear it say anything to me, but it felt like it was speaking to me telepathically. And I said, okay, I'll follow you. And I got off and over my covers, and I opened my door, and I marched into the living room. And then at like 4 or 5 seconds, I realized, like, what did I just follow in here? And why am I standing in my living room? And what was that? And I didn't know if I was dreaming or if I actually saw something. So I just wanted to know if that was a dream or...
No, Erik says, no, that wasn't a dream. It was, he says, it's like you were visited, but I feel like you were visited from your, like, family members. And when I say family members, I'm not talking about earthling family members. I'm talking about where you originate from. Because we all, as I say, like I always say, we didn't just open the Bible and fall out from the Bible. There's more to us than that. And Erik says, and when you said this blue being, Erik says you ought to go look into the Blu-rays and check them out.
The Blu-rays?
Uh-huh.
Is that
go
the Blue
read up
Avians?
on them.
Is that the same as the Blue Avians?
It's the same as the Pleiadians, you said?
No, the Blue Avians, like bird-like ones?
Erik says yes, there's a similarity. Erik says yes, there is a similarity.
Oh, but it's different.
Yes.
What's it called? The blue alien race?
The Blu-ray. The Blu-ray, he says.
Oh, Ray. Okay.
Ray, R-A-Y.
You're talking about the Blu-ray player.
No, Blu-ray. No.
Okay. And I look it up, and all I'm getting is a Blu-ray anniversary edition of the Aliens movie. So that's going to take some reading. But by the way, people, as many of you know, there have been a lot of stuff going on with alien encounters, disclosure, whistleblowers saying that our government has full spacecraft and parts and all that stuff. This person in Las Vegas had an encounter. 8-foot tall person. I mean, I saw this
oh
YouTube,
my gosh!
And it shows. He took a picture of this thing, and it was scary as shit. Please don't come by my bedtime in the middle of the night and say boo. I don't. Oh my God! But anyway, and the police officer took down the information about the story. He said, "I got to tell you, my partner experienced the same thing," and blah blah blah. So it's quite amazing. So what we're doing now is Paola Marina, who is doing the documentary. She is gathering questions from the community, so we can interview the tall white Adrian and perhaps the Atari, who we've also called forth for an interview. And we're going to ask them a whole bunch of questions about what is going on now. And there's also these lights, multicolored lights seen everywhere. It looks like giant orbs, but they're not. So there's some shit going on, people.
For real.
Erik says yes. Erik said yes, there is, and we're going to start seeing more and more and more of it because it is. This is. We're kind of like at the last couple miles of the marathon, and so there's going to be more. And Erik said he's talked about this in previous channeling with different mediums about more and more sightings and that coming too.
But should we be scared?
Erik says no, and like when Shayla, when she had hers, there wasn't any fear. She's just like, yeah, I'll go, because Erik says they don't. Yes, when you think about it, it's like, well, I'd be scared if one of them showed up in my room or whatever. But Erik says, but when it comes in, when it's one of your own, comes in peace, or you don't. All of that's taken away.
I'd still be horrified. I'm sorry, but maybe they have a way of managing our emotions. I don't know. But anyway, why I'm mentioning this, people, because if you haven't subscribed to the Channeling Erik YouTube channel and also the Atlantis Scalar YouTube channel, you need to do that and hit the notification bell, because you don't want to miss that. You don't want to miss Tina Turner. There's a lot coming up is really interesting that you don't want to miss. All right. Thank you, Shayla, for calling.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Love you. Bye.
Love you.
Big hugs.
Okay. We have
That's
somebody
so cool
from,
that happened to her.
I know, the 267 area code. Hi there, how you doing?
Hey, this is Jessica from Pennsylvania.
Hey, Jessica.
Hey, Jessica.
I recognize your voice.
Yeah. Wondering what Erik has to say about my finances and a move to a new home in the next week and a half or so.
Wow.
I know.
It's quick.
Well, with the finances, Erik says you really need a good understanding of your finances. So I feel like maybe you don't have from what Erik says, a good understanding. You know, yes, we know our bank account is full, or we know it's empty or half full, but it's like getting an understanding, Erik says, of your finances is what he's saying. And I feel like maybe so you can see, he just says getting a better understanding of your finances, what he keeps telling me. And I'm asking him, go ahead.
Well, I know I've been working to get a new job, to get a job for like the last 3 months, and now I'm like sort of down to the wire that I really need the money.
Yeah.
So I understand my finances fully.
Well, see, and that's the part. Yes, you know that you're running down. You're down to your last, bit, and that's why you were saying like, yes, not about it's full or it's half full or it's empty, but it's just something. I don't know. There's something about, he says, understanding your finances, and maybe it's not about how much you have and how much you don't have. It's something that has to do with finances, Erik. It's your thought. I don't know. He's showing me it's an understanding about your finances. Now, as far as a move, what Erik is showing me, get an understanding of your finances. I guess what he's showing me is like how your finances are falling out the door and how they're not flowing in the door, and seeing how your money's falling out the door. Because that's what Erik says. It's like your money's falling out of the door, but it's not flowing in the door. So what he keeps saying is get an understanding about that, because when you get an understanding about that, then everything else is going to open up for you.
Oh, good. Well,
and
that's manifested by thoughts like, okay, I have abundance, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, Erik, can you help her?
Yeah, because that's what I definitely see for a long time that I'm not getting enough finances in, and I keep trying to figure it out, and yes, all the affirmations and getting a better paying job or consistent job, but it just, I need the universe to cooperate with me, and they're having me just kind of wait on them or something. I don't know.
Bastard.
Well, I'll tell you, Erik told me this a long time ago, and I'm telling you, it really makes a difference. But he said it's not that you have to really, the affirmations are good, but it's about the feeling, because you can sit there and tell yourself, I'm beautiful, but inside you're thinking the complete opposite. So saying those affirmations isn't doing any good. But he says, when you go outside, he says, when you look at the blue sky, gray sky, whatever color it is, look at, when you see it, see the abundance, how there's an abundance of blue sky. He used to tell me, look at the freeway, because he's from Houston, I'm from Houston. He would show me look at the abundance of traffic, because because we have a lot of traffic, and I said that there's so much traffic, too much, and he said, no, there's an abundance of traffic. And I can tell you, when you start seeing the abundance in everything, because it shifts our energy. It really does. And Erik says, start with that. There's an abundance of blue sky. There's abundance of greenery where you live. There's abundance, the abundance of the sun. Just whatever it is, there's an abundance.
That way you can tap into that whole idea that abundance is infinite and scarcity is an illusion. But you still got to pay the bill. So I'm hoping that, Erik, you can help her. And also, you can ask your team. your guides and your guardian angel for help too, if you haven't already.
Yeah, I have. I mean, I'm in a situation now, so I really need, like, I need something practical. Like, I was definitely working my magic a lot, but as the days tick on, the anxiety builds. For obvious reasons. So when Erik says, so with the anxiety, just say, I have an abundance of an anxiety. I have an abundance of this, and start seeing the abundance in everything.
Oh, even quote unquote bad stuff. Oh, interesting.
Because this way you're not in the lack. Because when he says that our words are real powerful, and Erik says, have you applied for a job recently?
I've been applying nonstop for jobs for 3 months.
Well, there's something coming in. There's something coming down the tubes for you, as Erik's showing me. There's something in the pipeline for you coming in.
All right, everybody send Jessica, prayers and positive thoughts of abundance, because she really needs it. And I'm telling you, a lot of people out there need it. I mean, me having to support an entire new family. Of 6 people. It is not easy, and so I do understand that, people. I really do. And it's there is something coming, Jessica. Erik shows me there's something in the pipeline coming. But in the meantime, keep seeing the abundance in everything. Yeah. All right. You got somebody from the 651 area code. Hey there.
Hi, this is Christiana.
Hi, Christiana. I love your name.
Thank you.
Pretty.
So I wanted to ask, I'm assuming you guys aren't doctors, but I did want to ask about...
I'm
an internist.
I'm an internist. I've practiced for over 30 years. Graduated in my class, people, even though I had cardiac arrest when I was 6 months old, and because of that, I have a hard time tracking when I read and stuff, so I had to work a lot harder to get there. But anyway, ask.
I'm getting on a new medication for weight loss, and I was just wondering if you see me losing like a big or large amount of weight and just getting healthier.
Is it Mounjaro? That's the best.
No, it's called Victoza.
Is it injectable?
Victoza, something like that. Injectable, yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right. Mounjaro is the best. Least side effects. It works on the transient receptor, the vanilloid 1 receptors, and oh my God, all sorts of stuff. It's quite good. But go ahead. What question do you have?
She wants to know will she have success in her weight loss? Is that correct?
Okay. Erik,
Christiana.
Dr. Erik, he's an honorary, of course, and he knows more than I do. So, Erik, what's that, Ben?
Erik says yes, but he says, Christiana, the first thing you have to get away from is that feeling of defeat, because he says you are really putting all your eggs in this basket, but there's so much doubt of it happening.
Yeah.
He said, so really while you're taking this medicine and working towards your goal weight, but really you're working towards your goal of being healthy, because it's better to weigh, he says, 140 pounds and be healthy than to weigh 120 and not be healthy.
Yes, of course.
So he says, so really listen to your thoughts, and he says, and do research on what you can do to help yourself along the way. And I really feel like what he's showing me is educating yourself nutritionally, like how to eat healthy, because he says that will really be your successor, is learning about nutrition. And I think
different diets.
Erik,
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
Well, Erik says nutrition is something that she's going to find an interest in. The education behind it is nutrition.
So, different diets for different people. There's the paleo diet, intermittent fasting. Is there anyone that you think would work best for her, Erik?
Erik says education, because I just, the way Erik makes me feel like, and it's nothing against your intelligence, Christiana, it's nothing about that, but Erik is showing me it's just education, and it's, yes, you know, the paleo works for some, the beach diet works for others, the Mediterranean, intermittent fasting, but he says you got to find out what feels good for you, and it's Erik just shows me it's about nutrition, because he just shows me your education on nutrition, and I would just Google stuff about that and not just settle to one side. I would just do research.
You might want to also look into gut dysbiosis, an unhealthy gastrointestinal microbiome. Because when I do scalar work on people for weight loss, when they add the microbiome optimization, things just get a lot better and a lot easier. So if you look up obesity, I'm not saying you have obesity, or against GI microbiome or gut dysbiosis, or you will find all sorts of stuff. Difficulty losing weight is very much tied to the microbiome in the gut. You know, the different various types of beneficial bacteria and the immunoregulatory effect they have. I mean, the gut is the biggest immune organ and in the body, and it's the biggest manufacturing of neurotransmitters and neuropeptides in the body. And it's very important to have a healthy gut. And so just research that when you research the other stuff too.
And Erik says, and Erik says also too, how he says to like nurture you and like be proud of like what you are, this step that you're going towards, and don't worry about what all you did in the past that didn't work or all this other stuff.
No.
Just really focus on this one, he's saying, because I just really feel like Erik has shown me you really need to be nurtured, and that's something that you're going to have to do for you.
Yeah. You need to love yourself, people. Okay. And why not? You're whole and part of God. What's not to love, really? All right. Well, good luck, sweetheart. Oh, you're welcome. Quite welcome.
You got this, Christiana. You got this. So keep doing your work.
I think she does. All right. And Erik, you can help her, sweetheart. Right?
Yes.
I'm pimping my boy out. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. It's pimping you out. Okay, so we got the 818 area code. Hi there. How you doing?
I'm good. This is Rochelle from Southern California, and I think that you're going to totally relate with this. And I'm a little bit beside myself because my father died on the 3rd. And
I'm sorry. Oh goodness.
This month?
Yes, and I was here for the last 3 years, like helping them. And then of course they didn't show up last minute. They weren't here. And everybody.
Who showed up? I'm sorry. Who showed up the last minute?
Pardon?
Wait, I'm sorry. Who showed up the last minute?
My siblings.
Oh God.
And
okay,
so
I know where this is going. You're right. I do understand.
I have had basically been treated like I'm just a maid, and even the way my father went without talking to me, everything, and I was the one that was here for them.
Yeah.
I'm being kicked out now, and I knew all these things were going to happen because I'm very intuitive, but it's just a horrible situation. And
what are your legal rights? What are your legal rights? Did he leave anything to you in the will?
Yes, but I haven't been. Nobody showed me the will.
Well, you have every right. If you need to get a lawyer, even LegalZoom.com, Rocket Lawyer, you need to exert yourself. And I have a feeling that you're not doing that. You need to set boundaries and say, bitch, here's what's gonna go down. I am a sibling too. I took care of his ass for I don't know how long, because I don't know how. And you are going to treat me right, or you're going to spend all of your part of the inheritance on legal fees.
Right. Well, my mom is still alive, and my brother is in charge of everything. And it's not. I just want to stay out of the way. I'm actually leaving. I'm going to be homeless. I just don't. I don't have it in me. I'm so worn out. And what does my dad think now? He was horribly mean to me.
Ugh. Wait, what about your mother? Well, can you influence her to change the executor to you?
No, she's the one that's kicking me out.
Oh, God, some mother. Well, okay, Erik, what?
Well, Erik is showing me that your father, we don't just get to, be a real asshole, and then when we die, it's like the dry erase board, as Erik shows me, gets wiped clean. That this doesn't happen when we cross over. So Erik says, I feel like he's in what I don't know, it doesn't feel like it to me, but Erik says it's like what people reference the healing room or whatever. But he's in there doing a lot of talking because he's having to clean up a lot of mess. Because when we get to the other side, we get to see how crappy we were, and that is not who we are as a soul, our authentic self. So he says, he's having to really work in getting guidance in how to unravel a lot of that stuff. Erik says he wants you to know that immediately when we cross over, he says, we feel immediate remorse on how we treated people. So this is something that your father is really experiencing, the remorse on how badly he treated you and so many others. And he gets to see where that unpleasant behavior came from. And I feel like it came from Erik shows me it came from his childhood, which was passed on to his. But Erik is saying, though, that your father is seeing, though, that even though it was passed on from his childhood, he also sees that he made the choice to be a butthead.
Right. He's my adopted father, and I know that, he's a genius, and he was very much bullied as a child.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
well,
so,
the other siblings,
but Erik says,
adopted too?
Sure. I'm sorry, I was adopted.
But I know, but were your other siblings adopted?
Yes, my real sister was adopted with me, and my brother is not my real brother, but he's adopted as well. He was adopted first.
I got you.
Okay. So all of y'all are adopted. So Erik says there is help coming your way. So do you have friends that you can stay with part-time?
I do.
Okay. Because Erik is saying there is help coming your way. There really is. So that you have friends that you can stay with for a little bit. There is something, there is going to be a breath of fresh air coming your way, he says. And, there definitely is. And there's, and there's just a big awakening happening for everybody because, you can't be crappy to somebody and live a happy life. So your mother and your siblings aren't going to be able to have a happy life being a real butthead. And there's something about your brother, though. I feel like there's going to be a switch in him that changes, though, from what Erik shows me. So is he being a butthead, too?
Yes. But he doesn't deal with the alcoholism. He doesn't know or remember how my parents were.
Oh. Mm. There's something in him, though, that I feel like will switch in him. Erik is just showing me there's something that will switch, and because the same type of feelings, though, that you and your other siblings have them too. And Erik wants you to know, though, he wants you to know this has nothing to do with who you are. This is not about you, even though it may feel like it.
The problem.
Do what?
They all make it like I'm the problem and I'm a horrible person.
No, you're being gaslighted, girl. You are being gaslighted.
And Erik, because the way Erik shows me, every one of those participants have a piece in it. And, that's the one thing about when people are miserable and angry and happy, they have to spew that on other people and make it about them so that they can, I don't know, it's just like that's what fuels their fire or something.
That's how they have power. That's the only way they can do power is by making other people miserable and powerless. But, the good will prevail. My feelings.
I do see something is going to come through, Michelle, because Erik is showing me this. So, Erik is saying go look online or something for some type of place where you can go to get some type of, help with grieving or something. He's just showing me, don't do this alone. Don't do this alone.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, everybody send prayers her way.
I know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michelle. Big hugs to you, girl.
I disconnected her, but I hope you're still listening. What lesson is this lesson for her, Erik, or is it for the siblings? Of course, they're both, but mainly
for everybody.
Who has the main lesson?
Well, for her, this is about her standing up and using her voice. Erik says because she's always was kind of invisible in the family to kind of so to keep the craziness down, so she would become invisible. So to keep underneath the radar of it all, and this is forcing her to use her voice.
Wow,
it's so sad.
Any message from the father, Erik? Well, we don't know his name, so we might not be able to get that, but it would be nice to have some sort of message.
Well, Erik says he is definitely working on his misery. And when Erik tells me that, it's his misery that created when he was here. He's really working overtime he's like on a 911 call dealing with it because he knows he left a tornado full of crap around. Yeah.
Yes. All right, let's go ahead and go on to the next caller. And I think since we have so many, I'm hoping we can make these a little shorter because there's a inordinately large number of calls. So 951 area code, how can we help you?
Hi, Elisa.
Hi.
Yes.
Yes. How you doing? What's up?
I'm good. How are you? This is Donna from Southern California.
Oh, another Southern Cal. Another Southern Cal. What you got for us?
Hi, Erik. Hi, Denise.
Hi. Erik says hello.
Erik is actually one of my guardian angels.
Well, he told me you're very beautiful. That's what he said because he wanted me to say, well, hello. And he said she's very beautiful, Denise.
Oh. Thank you, Erik. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what a flirt.
Yes.
So I wanted Erik's help. I'm having trouble making a decision on my relationship with my significant other. I'm just kind of going back and forth, and I don't know what to do. And I'm just wondering if Erik has any advice or any...
How can she make up her mind? I mean, we don't have to... You don't have to make up her mind for her, but how can she make up her mind, Erik?
Erik says for her to write down what it is, that the common thing that keeps coming up. Because he says there's a common thing that keeps coming up. And he says, write down what that common thing is. And he says, and then if you write it down, like let's write down the word betrayal, he says, how is that familiar to you? How is that? Like, what is betrayal? What is it else is going on? He says it's yes in the relationship, but where else is it coming up? And really look at where it's coming up from. Like, what else? It could be a betrayal. Say a friend of yours 20 years ago really betrayed you big time, and that's the part that's coming up. And Erik says start looking at that, because that's going to help you make the decision on what you want to do with your relationship. It will bring so much clarity to you. But he says there's a common thing that keeps coming up.
Yeah, this is interesting because I had the same thing, similar thing going on with a family member of mine who has had so much problem. One man after the other. And I told her, so-and-so, you need to stop thinking that you're not completely whole without a man, because you can be. You have your children, you have blah, 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 your family, etc. So, and this person has never lived without a man as soon as she left the nuclear family. So she's like, can't be whole unless I have a man. But everybody has a different reason for sticking with relationships. In her case, it's because she feels like she is not complete without that person or without a man. So you have to figure that out too. Is there anything like that going on? Like, what keeps you with this person? So anyway, I'm not asking you a question. I'm just saying to consider these questions and answer it on your own.
Yeah.
So find the common thing that keeps coming up every time, and Erik says, and then really like write in detail about that common thing. And he says, and from there you will be able to make a good decision. You'll make the best decision for yourself on what to do. You'll have a lot of clarity with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, darling.
Okay.
We're rooting for you.
Take care, Donna.
Donna, she's so sweet. All right, we have somebody from the 412 area code. And don't worry, you get the 404 area code next. It's not 40440. But she just contacted me. I can see it blip up. But anyway, 412 area code. Hi there.
Hi, my name's Al. My name is Al, and I am Jacob's father.
Jacob
Father's Day
Manolo.
is coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you want a message from Jacob?
Yes, since Father's Day is coming for me, myself, and if he has one for his mother also.
So, Denise, I know you know the story. Jacob Manolo died of leukemia, and it was very rough, and they miss him so much. And he's been really giving him all sorts of signs that are incredible, and so he has a lot of power. But Jacob, message for Dad.
Well, Erik brings Jacob in, and it's like Jacob has definitely expanded. How long has it been since Jacob transitioned?
About 1 year.
Yeah.
That's it? Okay, because I really see him. I'm sorry, May what?
It was May 6th.
Yes.
Of last year.
So it's just been 13 months.
Over a year. Right.
Yeah. So Erik is showing me, because Jacob has expanded in his energy. It's
really?
It's just very, very large, and I don't mean weight wise. I mean energy wise. I don't know if anybody else has told you, but Jacob's blue. He's got this blue. It's just like a beautiful blue, almost like a tanzanite color blue. His energy is like that. It's just absolutely
what does that
stunning.
mean?
And that that's just his energy, his color. Because from what I've been told, the frequencies, it all has different colors, and his just shows me this beautiful blue, like a tanzanite. It's so clear blue looking, and but he says,
nice
of course,
blue.
Does he? Okay, well, that's his color. I mean, it's a beautiful tanzanite color blue is what he's showing me. It's the closest I can how I can relate it to earth color here. You know, of course he's wanting you to know that he loves you. You know, I mean, that's obvious that. But what he's also showing me is he's really learning how to. He's really gotten really an expert at it, where he's like pulling the sadness and the pain and the loss and the void and all of that from all of you, the family members and friends. He said, pulling that energy from your heart, and it's just filtering love back into it. And he said, so I just feel like there's going to be some laughter going on this weekend for all of you. And he says, and enjoy the laughter, because when you're laughing with him. Is there a movie coming out that at the movies or something that you think he would have loved to have watched or loved to have seen? Because he's talking about a movie.
I don't. This is his mom now. Hi.
Okay.
Hey, Lori.
Hi, Elisa. He loved movies. We watched so many in the hospital. We were in there for so long. And so I often think, because there's movies that came out that I remember being in the hospital with him, and he said, I can't wait to see that. And then he passed away before they came out. And I don't know which movie, but real quick, I know you have a lot of calls, but I had a really hard night Saturday. I just felt it, the loss. Yes. And, when I cried myself to sleep, of course, and when I was waking up, I was awake, that I heard Mom whispered. And I thought it was my daughter that came into my room, but I looked around and there was no one there, and I was wondering if that was him saying Mom.
Of course, yes. And as he had said earlier, Erik was showing me his energy has expanded, like I said, not weight-wise. But he has, I mean, he's like, he went from first grade to getting a PhD in a year,
That's our son, though. He was always like that, so strong.
Okay, well, he's very, I want to say wise, but that isn't even the word. He's very enlightened. He's just, he says he was not brand new to this earth, and he was not a brand new soul. He's telling me he was a very advanced soul.
I believe that, yeah.
What time of day? What time of day did he die?
He died at 5:30 Friday afternoon, May 6th.
Okay.
He was born on a Friday.
Erik died on the 6th of a different month, October.
I know, yeah.
So it's weird.
It is weird, but I think of you all the time, Lisa.
Thank you. I do with you too.
Well, big hugs to both of y'all. And he says, I just feel some laughter is coming in this weekend for y'all.
We haven't had any.
And so laugh. Just laugh, he's saying.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Denise.
Big hugs to both of y'all.
And you know what? The similarities between Erik and Jacob are amazing, and the fact that they're both very big dance souls and stuff, and I don't know.
And the same date of death, both the same.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I agree. I feel connected.
Gloria, Erik keeps showing me, he's wanting me to say that it's like I've seen wings on the back of Jacob's back, and that is symbol, like sprouting his enlightenment. His enlightenment is just, So,
All right, thank you so much. I so appreciate it. We both do. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Big hugs to both of y'all.
Absolutely. Okay, we have somebody from the 404 area code. Hi there, how you doing?
Hello, is it me?
It's you.
Hi there, everyone. I'm sorry to step on anyone's toes. I didn't mean to do that. But I just wanted to ask Erik. My sister's been in. First of all, I wanted to know how my husband's doing. His name's Terry. I feel like he's forgetting me. I don't get no feelings from him or anything, so I just wanted to see if he was okay.
Yeah.
But
what's your first name?
Sammy.
Sammy.
Yes.
Is that short for Samantha?
No, it's Tammy McGill. Well, Terry Scruggs is my husband, but I was going to ask Erik about my sister. She's been in ICU for 2 weeks.
Wow. And what is her name? Your
Brenda.
name?
Brenda. Yes.
Okay.
Brenda.
Is she being treated for an infection?
Well, she's in ICU. They had to do 2 surgeries on her. They had to cut her throat. I was just wanting to see if we was going to have to say goodbye to her or what.
Erik says eventually yes, is what he says. But I do feel like there's some kind of infection that she's fighting. Is what I get from that. Is going on with her.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, her colon exploded, so they had to do surgery on that. So, and she's swelling so bad, she's turned yellow.
Well, that means a multi-organ failure possibly, where her liver is failing, and her kidneys probably might go. I mean, I see this with sepsis a lot that in the ICU.
So I get that might be why I'm getting an infection in there. And I want to address your husband. Your husband is doing fine, Erik says, and Erik says some of why you're not hearing from him is because you're preoccupied with other stuff, and obviously your sister, and not just the 2 weeks, but there's other stuff that's going on and we get so busy, and then I was like, oh wait a minute, I haven't heard from my husband. Like, what's going on? Why don't I hear from him? And your husband's still here, and Erik says really take some time out for you during this time. It's really important that you take at least 5 minutes out for you, just time to breathe.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, can you wish him Happy Father's Day for me?
You just did.
He hears you. Yes, and Erik is telling me Terry is with you through all of this. And what Erik keeps showing me that you don't feel like you feel so all alone, but Terry is with you in all of this. Terry is with you in all of this, and this is why it's even more important. Go spend some 5 minutes with yourself, with just you and Terry, and you will start so you can reconnect.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
This is all right what you're going through.
Oh my goodness.
Erik, I just wanted to say I've got your book, and I swear I was reading it, and every time I sit down to read, I felt you sitting there. You've done a really good job in this book, and it made me open my eyes because I was about to end my life. But when I read your book, God bless you.
Well, that book saved my life too. I probably wouldn't be here right now. I sound like that medical alert thing. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't. But yes, that commercial. But yeah, I don't think I would be here if it had not. That was so healing. And yeah, Erik does tend to. If people read his book, My Life After Death: A Memoir from Heaven.
Yeah, I felt like he was just sitting there reading the book story to me. Yes.
Oh.
Well, he was. Erik says he does do that. He does because he knows who needs comforting and who needs support. So he does. And he says it's not like one person jumping from one person to another. It's different than that. He can be in multiple places at one time, and everybody gets that precious part of him, and he knows who needs him and that encouragement and help along. So yes, he is. He says he's with everybody when they're reading that book. Because there's a reason why everybody who reads that book, there's a reason why they're reading it. They were that book and that person were brought together for a purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to order it because I was about to lose. I lost my mind when I lost my husband. I lost my mind. I had to do something.
Yeah, I'm so glad it helped you.
Yes, yes.
Erik, can you tell me what my guardian angel's name is?
I'm going to tell you right now, Tammy, I'm not good with names. So when I'm asking Erik, let me see. Erik tells me there's an angel. I don't know if it's a guardian angel, but there's an archangel Ariel that really the energy of that is with you often. One.
Wow, so look into that. Thank you for calling, sweetheart, and best of luck with Brenda. And
thank you very much.
Terry. Thank you.
Love you, Terry.
Oh. All right, have one from the 713 area code. That sounds like a Houston number.
Am I on line?
Yes. How
Hello?
are you?
Okay.
Yes,
sorry.
sir.
This is Mark in Houston, Texas, and my question is about my son. I'm trying to find out. He's had a lot of problems years. He's over 40 now, and is.
Oh, I know who you are. I didn't know you were from Houston, Mark.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
And I'm just trying to find out whether or not what's really the main issue here with him, and whether or not the scalar, because I'm trying to get signed up with the scalar services, but at the same time, I'd like to know what his issues, what the major issues are with his.
There's been legal problems. That I've talked to Mark a lot. That he's got some legal issues. He's had connections with people that may or may not be, good energy for him, and
right.
May or may not be on the spectrum. He may or may not have negative entity attachments. So basically, what's going on? Tell them his first name.
His first name is David.
That's right. So, David. What's going on, Erik, with David? Denise, are you there? Oh, my God. Did we lose her? I think we lost her. She'll call back in, don't worry. Let me see. She had a problem with Google sign-on, so she had to call in. So, let me see. Denise. Let me text her. You want to call back in? Question mark.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm texting her because I think we lost Denise Ramon. Technology. Let me see. Oh wait, here she is.
Hello.
Denise. Hey Denise, I don't know what happened. Did you hear everything?
I did hear everything, and then it just said unmuted.
Oh yeah,
whatever happened?
I don't know what happened.
I don't either. So yes, I did hear. So Erik was telling me when you were talking, Mark, that in the beginning I heard nerves. Erik was saying nerves, like very nervous. And then when you said legal problems, I'm like, well, that would make anybody nervous. But Erik is saying there's something with the nerves. And then when Elisa, you said something with like maybe on the spectrum or something, I got a very strong yes. And Erik also said, when you were talking about doing some scalar work, he said that would help him a lot. That would help him.
Okay.
But I do get that. Does he live with you?
He did. He hasn't lived with us for the last 3 years because of his circumstances.
Yeah. So because I do get that there is some low rent people liking to keep company with him because.
Oh yeah, where he's at right now, that's probably true.
Yeah, I get that there's some low rent people there that because David's easily influenced, as Erik is telling me.
Yeah.
And so I do get that. I do get that the scalar work would help. Erik says prayers help. So, you could put him on a prayer list. That would help.
Well, I've got him on a Post-it note next to my bed that I send healing energy every day. I have just a few handful of people I do that for. But I've been telling Mark that I just want him to only get the main service first because that handles neurotransmitters, neuropeptides. It's amazing what that covers. I mean, maybe he'll need the relief from autism. But what do you think, Erik? Is it reasonable to just start with that one thing and be patient and wait?
Erik says yes. Yeah, Erik says yes, because this way you can start seeing how it's helping. And he said yes, because you don't want to overload him either. Even though he won't know personally, like, this is being done, but you don't want to overload him because it is energy, and he is very sensitive to that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is he doing some kind of substance?
Well, not substance. No. There's a program that he may be going into, but we don't know yet. We'll know in July. But it's not dealing with substance.
Does he have a problem with substance abuse of any sort?
No, he's never had any problems with substance abuse.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
And no drinking at all or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
No,
Okay. Well, that's because I don't know why, but Erik just, because I don't know about the low rent people. When I say low rent, I'm not talking about people.
Yeah.
They know who they can, because your son's very naive in a lot of areas.
Yes, yes, he is.
And so people pick up on that, and
he's being used, taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Yes, he's always been vulnerable to that.
Yeah.
Yes. So this program,
like Erik
said yes, and Erik says this program that's coming up in July, he said your son is going to get into it, because I feel like there's forces from the other side that are really helping. And because of all the work that you're doing, you and your family are doing, because your wife's involved. Yeah, your wife is with you on this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because Erik is showing me you and your wife, Debbie, that are really, because this is... This is going to happen, and so Erik is saying he knows July can't get here soon enough, but this is going to be something that to get into. Is it going to be like a residence or something, like a residence?
Yes, and I'm hoping that it'll make a lot of difference. Of course, with the scalar, I'm hoping that'll make a lot of difference as well.
It will, because I feel like. Because the reason why I say a residence, because I feel like it's there's freedom in there, but it's very monitored at that as well.
Right.
And he keeps it. Will it shield him from the low rent people?
Of course.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes.
This lady friend of his, does she come in with a lot of negative entities, or of course negative energy? I mean, what's going on with this lady? You know her first name, Mark?
Jennifer.
Erik, what can you say? Is she a good influence, a bad influence? Could be a good influence.
Well, Erik doesn't say. She doesn't know how to influence him any more than she can be influenced. So there's a vibrational match there.
I see.
So So yeah.
Okay.
I don't feel like, if you never built a house, you can't show somebody how to build one.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. All right. Do you think she's good for him, Mark?
I don't think she's good for him, no.
Okay.
Mark, what part of Houston do you live in?
I live on the north side, just off 610.
Oh, yeah, okay. Close to Woodlands or?
No, Garden Oaks.
Oh, Garden Oaks, nice. All right.
In the poor section.
Okay. We're almost neighbors. All right. Well, thank you so much, and I know we can help you.
Well, I would just want you to know, Erik is heavily involved in this case. Erik is heavily involved in this.
God,
is what he wants me to tell you.
I really appreciate that.
Because
you take care.
Similarities between them, I really do. All right, thank you guys. Be sure you check out Denise Ramon at DeniseRamon.com. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell, people. I love you all. Bye. Love you, Eric. Love
Bye.
you, Denise.
Big hugs. Happy Father's Day.